Yes. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Unique Academy. My name is Akshay and sorry for the inconvenience for you guys because the notification was for Maharashtra history, but today due to some technical reasons we are going to continue with polity. Okay. And I assure you that Indian history or the Maharashtra history demo lecture would be conducted soon. Fine. So today we are going to continue with Indian polity. Yes, and if you are there live, you can hear me properly and clearly. Kindly comment down that I am audible to you and visible as well. Okay. Yes. Yes, the participants which are on Zoom call, I am audible to you, all of you. Yes. Okay, fine. So let's begin. Indian polity. So first of all, you are preparing for Group B exams, right? You are preparing for Group B and Group C exams. So Indian polity is important subject, and the first and the foremost question in front of you is what is Indian polity? Yes. So Indian polity, if we divide, okay, this term Indian polity in Marathi or in English. Okay, so it translates to Bharatiya Rajya Vyavastha. Now, what does it means? Bharatiya Rajya Vyavastha. ठीक है. So this Bharatiya or this Indian, it denotes the country. Okay, so this system or this all the whole soul system, we are talking about which country? So here is the name of the country, that is Bharat. Okay, that is Bharat. Now second comes the term Rajya, Bharatiya Rajya or Rajya Vyavastha. Okay, so Rajya means the overall system by which this country is run. Okay, and the system which allows this overall procedures to be conducted in a swiftly and smoothly manner. Fine. So this is the meaning of the term of Indian polity. We will start this session with very basic, and let me give you a few insights about this lecture or this session. So this session would be basically about understanding this subject, understanding the syllabus, understanding the overall questions, overall the demands of MPSC. Okay, if we are studying Indian polity here, okay, so what is our aim or goal? Yes, is our goal to do a PhD in political science? No. Is our goal to become a well-known jurist or a constitutionalist in the world or in India or in Maharashtra? The answer is surely no. So what is our purpose for studying this subject? It is to clear the exam. And if you want to clear this exam, what you need? You need a clear understanding about the overall demand of the commission. Why commission? Because commission is taking this exam, right? So what is the demand? What they really want from you? Do they want a in detail analysis and analytical approach of polity for this exam? The answer is surely no. They want the demand of the commission, of this commission from you for this exam is that they want you to be factually correct. They don't emphasize on analytical part. Okay, though I am going to explain you in very detail the analytical part as well. Okay, so don't worry, be with me. And in case if there is any doubt, you can raise your question in the comment section as well. The one who are watching YouTube, the one those are live on Zoom, and the one there which are present in the class. Okay, so let's begin. So I have explained you the detail meaning of this term Indian polity, and I hope I am clear, very clear. Okay, now we are going to switch on the first question of today's lecture: why we study Indian polity. So would you like to answer, anyone? Why do we study Indian polity in our syllabus? So we study Indian polity because we want to understand the system by which our country is run. We want to understand, we should have understanding about who is prime minister, who is president, what is the form of government, how overall this government is run, what is judiciary, yes, what is executive, what is government, and what are the roles we have to play being as a citizen, right? So to understand all these concepts, we have to study this subject, that is Indian polity. Okay, so I have given you some example or some few questions where I will try to understand or try to explain you that why this subject is important. So the first question here is, who is more powerful, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? As we know that our Indian Parliament have two houses. The two houses having a parliament, the parliament which is having two houses is known as bicameral. Bicameral means, what do you mean by bicameral? Listen, if you are a science student, you could understand this thing that bi means two. Bi means two. Yes. And cameral means chambers. It means chambers. So, a parliament or a legislative body or legislative organ having two houses is known as bicameral. And in Indian scenario, we have bicameral legislature. That means we have two houses. The first one is Lok Sabha and the second one is Rajya Sabha. Now the question comes, who is more powerful? Is it Lok Sabha or is it Rajya Sabha? So, yes, Zoom chat box is off. So this is, yes, the batch is also available in offline mode as well. Yes. So I hope that Zoom chat box would be on by now. Fine. Yes. So where was I? Yes. Which house is more powerful? So generally there is not a clear distinction between both the houses. Okay. None of the house is powerful or lesser powerful. Okay, have less powers. Both are equally important at their own place, but generally we say that Lok Sabha is more powerful. Why? Because there are many features in which the Lok Sabha has given more powers by the constitution. Okay, so our second question, can the fundamental rights be suspended? Now, the first question arises that what do you mean by fundamental rights? Okay, and though we are studying in English medium batch, but as of my experience, I can understand that each and every term is not clearly understood by the students in English. Okay, like I have told you, what do you mean by bicameral? But you don't know the meaning. Fine. Like I have told you Indian polity, but when I divided it to Bharatiya Rajya Vyavastha, so we have a clear cut understanding. Why? Because our roots of languages, Hindi, Marathi, or anything, but not exactly English. Okay, कारण की आपली बोली भाषा कुठली आहे? आपली मराठी आहे ना. मराठी किंवा आपण महाराष्ट्रामध्ये हिंदी पण बोलतो. ठीक आहे. तर what do you mean by fundamental rights? So fundamental rights in Marathi is known as मूलभूत अधिकार. Okay, मूलभूत अधिकार, fundamental. Fundamental means very basic, that this should be there, otherwise anything which is related to any, like for example in physics we have atoms, we have electrons, we have protons, we have nucleus. This is the fundamental thing of that matter. Okay, the concept of matter, this is the fundamentals of matter. Okay, if there would be no atom, जर atom असेल नसेलच तर matter होणार का? नाही. So for being or to live a human life with a dignified and a liberal way, you should have certain sort of rights which are compulsory for being a human. Okay, so that's why some rights are given. That is why this word is used, fundamental. Okay, it is known as fundamental. We have taken inspiration of this fundamental right from USA. Okay, there they have introduced this rights as Bill of Rights. We have taken inspiration. Have we copy paste from it? No, we have taken inspiration. There is a difference between taking inspiration and just directly copy pasting it. Okay, fine. So coming back to our question, can the fundamental rights be suspended? So the answer is yes, but not each and every time. In certain scenarios during national emergencies and all, certain articles other than 2 articles, all the articles can be suspended by presidential orders. Okay, so what are these fundamental rights, how they are suspended, how they are working in our constitution or in our India, we are going to understand it in this subject. Now next question, why is India called a union of states and not federation? In federation there are two concepts. The first one is that there is a central government and there is state government. Central and state government constitutes a federation. But in India we have both. We have union government, central government as well as state government. महाराष्ट्राची सरकार आहे ना आपल्याकडे, भारत सरकार पण आहे, बरोबर. So this is a federation, but India is known as union of states. Why? Because our Indian constitution have not based on, or our India is not based on agreement with the states. Our India is a union, a single constituent body, a single land mass which constitutes a single country. There is no agreement between states. महाराष्ट्र उद्या जाऊन वेगळा होऊ शकतो का भारतापासून? नाही होऊ शकत. That's why it is known as union of states. Okay, who appoints the president, prime minister? Why do governors often appear in the news? All these types of questions would be crystal clear by the end of this subject. When we complete this session of lectures of this polity, each and every question in your mind would be clear cut. Okay, that's my responsibility. Fine. So basically I have taken all this question just to tell you or to explain you that why we study this subject in our syllabus, why the MPSC have included this subject. Okay, now let's come to our next question. What is polity? What is polity? So there are different meanings, different terms related to this subject. The first one is politics. Politics म्हणजे काय? राजकारण, बरोबर. आपल्याकडे राजकारण होतं ना, बरेच पार्ट्या आपल्याकडे. सिंगल पार्टी सिस्टम आहे का आपल्याकडे? नाही, आपल्याकडे मल्टी पार्टी सिस्टम आहे. सिंगल पार्टी सिस्टम कुठे आहे? चायनामध्ये आहे, बरोबर. डबल पार्टी सिस्टम कुठे आहे? US मध्ये आहे. ठीक आहे, डेमोक्रॅट्स अँड रिपब्लिक. ओके, रिपब्लिकन्स. बट वी हॅव मल्टी पार्टी सिस्टम. Okay, so politics means rajkaran. Okay, where activities related to gaining and exercising the political powers are undertaken. It is known as politics. Fine. Second term, political science. What do you mean by political science? It means academic study of political ideas, institutions and system. Democracy. Democracy is an idea, a concept. Yes. So there are many other concepts as well. There are many theories as well. Socialism, communism. Yes. So all this comes under political science. All this comes under political science. Now comes to polity. What do you mean by polity? So the constitutional and institutional framework of the government means if there is a nation, we have our nation. The name of our nation is India. And we have two names of our country. Yes, the online participants. We have two name of our country. What are they? India and Bharat. Yes. So we have two names of our country, that is India and Bharat. So our India, that is Bharat, is managed, is governed through a system. Yes. And that system is our polity, our constitution. The constitution have created a framework of rules through which this country should be governed, right? So all this comes under the term of polity. Now comes the constitution. What do you mean by constitution? So constitution means the supreme legal document governing the state. I have told you that if you want to govern any sort of territory or any sort of company, organization, be a society or state, you have to have some rules. So these rules are given by whom? So these rules are mentioned in the constitution. And accordingly, this all over the territory of India is run, is governed. And I hope I am clear with this all terminologies. Now, why I am taking all this टेक्निकल टर्म्स? कारण की काय होतं माहिती का, हिंदी इंग्लिश सगळं झालेलं ना तुम्हाला, मराठी वगैरे, ठीक आहे. होतं काय की मुलं अभ्यास करतात पण मुलांना बेसिक कन्सेप्ट क्लिअर नसतात, ठीक आहे. आणि ते महत्वाचं आहे. हे महत्वाचं का आहे? कारण की तुम्ही काय वाचताय. आता बघा, जर तुम्हाला माहितीच नसेल तर याला नॉलेज बनणार काय? हे तर ते जुना पोंगा पंडित, म्हणजे ते काय म्हणतात त्याला, डोळे बंद करून अंधश्रद्धेचा भाग झाला ना. सरांनी सांगितलं म्हणून वाचायचं. यू शुड अंडरस्टँड ईच अँड एव्हरी कन्सेप्ट. दिस इज अ व्हेरी ग्रेट सब्जेक्ट, पॉलिटी. ओके, being a citizen, it is your responsibility to understand each and every term of this constitution, because your life is governed by this document. Yes, that's why I have explained you all these terminologies. Yes. Now our next question. तुम्हाला असं जरा चक्रवत आहे का की सर शिकवायला आले की प्रश्न विचारायला आले? असं काय वाटतंय का? नाही ना? ठीक आहे. Now our next question is, why does a country need a constitution? Why does a country need a constitution? Yes. So a constitution, why it is led? Let me give you an example or ask you some questions. Yes. So I hope that each and everyone have played or at least watched someone playing a cricket match. Our beloved sport of Indians, cricket. Yes. So cricket have some rules. LBW. Yes. And what आपण गली क्रिकेट खेळायचो तर वन टप आउट. प्रत्येक गोष्टीला एक रूल्स असतात, बरोबर? तर जर हे रूल्स नसणार तर तो गेम व्यवस्थित खेळला जाणार का मग? That there would be conflict in each and every ball, at each and every shot. Yes, if this is the boundary, if the boundary is not like demarcated, okay, and here is the pitch, someone will claim 6 here, someone will claim 6 here, someone will claim 6 here, 6 runs, right? So if the rules are not mentioned or not demarcated on the ground, there would be conflict. Similar conflicts would be observed in a country. Yes. So to avoid such conflicts, to avoid such problems, the constitution is laid down, constitution is written. Yes. What the constitution says, it says it in details about powers of the government. Means गवर्नमेंट के दिल में जो आए वो कर सकती है गवर्नमेंट हमारे इंडिया में? नहीं। क्यों नहीं कर सकती है? क्योंकि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में पावर्स क्लियरली डिमार्केटेड है। ठीक है। नाउ राइट्स ऑफ द सिटीजन्स, नाउ मला एक सांगा, राइट्स ऑफ सिटीजन्स वर ना एक प्रश्न विचारतो तुम्हाला, तुम्ही एक रोड आहे त्या रोडवर डीजे लावून नाचू शकतात का? पण मिरवणुकी निघतात ना आपल्याकडे, मग कशी निघतात? येस, ते याकरिता निघतात कारण की परमिशन, यू हॅव टू एक्वायर परमिशन फ्रॉम द पोलीस, फ्रॉम द ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेशन टू कंडक्ट अ प्रोसेशन. येस, so there is a rule for this process, and after getting the permission there are also some conditions as well. And what are the conditions? That the sound should be below some decibel points. Okay. फुल व्हॉल्यूम करून वाजवू शकत नाही तुम्ही. लोकांच्या घराचे काच फुटले, ओरडणार ना लोक मग, बरोबर आहे. तुम्ही ट्रॅफिक ला अडथळा तयार करू शकत नाही. पब्लिक कम्युनिकेशनला यू कॅनॉट कॉज एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ प्रॉब्लेम्स. सो टू टेक अ प्रोसेशन इज योर राइट. Yes, to take a procession is your right, but to follow some guidelines, this is also your duty. So in our constitution we both have fundamental rights as well as fundamental duties. With one hand the constitution gives you right, and with other hand it also gives you fundamental duties, that you have to follow all these things. You have to promote harmony, you have to promote fraternity. Fraternity म्हणजे काय? तर बंधुत्व, brotherhood. You have to promote scientific temperament. Yes, अंधश्रद्धाला तुम्ही प्रमोट नाही करू शकत, सायंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट तुम्हाला प्रमोट करायचं आहे. फाइन. नाउ कम्स, दिस इज द राइट्स ऑफ सिटीजन. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ पावर्स. नाउ लेट मी एक्सप्लेन you that we have two sorts of government, and in detail three. The first one is the central government. On the first tier comes the central government. Yes, the second comes the state, and third comes the local self government. ग्रामपंचायत ऐकलं असेल ना तुम्ही, बरोबर? तर सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंट पण कायदे तयार करताय कुठे? तर पार्लमेंट मध्ये. स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट कायदे करताय कुठे? विधान भवन मध्ये. बरोबर? सेशन सुरू आहे आपल्याकडे आता, मान्सून सेशन. तर मला एक सांगा, ही बॉडी पण कायदे तयार करताय, ही बॉडी पण कायदे तयार करताय, ही पण बॉडी कशी कुठले तरी कायदे तयार करताय. मग इथे यांचं काहीतरी सेपरेशन असेल ना, बरोबर? की या ठराविक सब्जेक्ट, फॉर एक्झाम्पल डिफेन्स, डिफेन्स या टॉपिकवर कोण? तर सेंटर कायदे तयार करणार. एज्युकेशन, एज्युकेशनवर कोण करणार तयार कायदे? It would be created by, enacted by the state machinery or the state government. And similarly, for property tax, the rules would be governed by the local self government. Water tax, property tax, everything else. Okay. So this means that the constitution also distributes the powers among the organs of the government. Yes. Now limits the authority. Like for example, we have democracy, we have government, we have parliament. Yes. So can the government, by making a law, take your life? तुमचा जीव घेऊ शकतं का गव्हर्नमेंट कायदा तयार करून? उत्तर द्या. The answer is surely no. Why? because the constitution also puts limitations on the authority of the government, on the authority of bureaucracy, officers, judiciary, each and everything, all the organs which are working in our India constitution. Yes, so constitution gives rights to government, to citizens, as well as is also pushes the limits, okay, also puts the limits for the citizens as well the governments and other organs of our polity or our governance setup. Yes, now comes, what do you mean by constitutionalism? Constitutionalism means the government which is governed or limited by law, which I have explained to you right now. So in India there is constitutionalism. Yes. Now I hope that I have cleared you very much that why we are studying this subject. Yes. Now let's understand that what we have to study in this subject. Yes, the subject is Indian polity. So first of all, we will try to understand the evolution of our constitution. Is our constitution is created or what we can say developed in a year or 2 year? The answer is no. Why? Because in our India we were ruled by the British. Yes, around 200 years. So if the British were ruling, surely they have some sort of rules to rule this country for the citizens, to collect the tax. Yes, and secondly to manage the law and order. So surely there would be some laws, कायदे असतील ना त्यावेळेस, बरोबर. And this laws was also not implemented in a single go or a single year. It started implementing due to many reasons. We won't go in the reasons. Okay, it started in 1773 till, and it continued till 1947. Why? Because we got independence in 1947, 15th August. Yes. So our constitution has, or we can say the overall laws or the overall setup or overall the polity or system of our country has developed from 1773 to 1947. Yes, so we have to also study this evolution. Now we are very much familiar with Supreme Court, with High Court, with Prime Minister positions like President, Prime Minister, Cabinet Minister, Governors, Chief Ministers, है ना? We are much familiar with positions or officers like IAS, IPS, IRS. Yes, in MPSC we have Deputy Collector, DYSP, ACP, yes, and many other Tahsildar and all those things. So all this machinery was introduced by whom? It was introduced by Britishers. Yes, and in this era of British, all these systems were evolved. Yes, similarly, law also evolved with them. Yes, so we have to study this evolution of our constitution. Now, secondly, we are going to focus on salient features. Like, if I ask you a question, describe a human being. माणसाला डिस्क्राइब करण्याकरिता जर मी तुम्हाला म्हटलं तर तुम्ही कसं डिस्क्राइब करणार आहे? तुम्ही म्हणणार माणसाला, म्हणजे आय एम टॉकिंग अबाउट मेल अँड फिमेल बोथ. येस, they have, some have facial hairs, some have topical hairs. ठीक है, they have 2 eyes, nose, ear and all those things, 2 hands, 2 legs. They give birth to their child, they have mammary glands. All these are characteristics or features of human body. Am I right? Similarly, there are features and characteristics of our constitution. लक्षात येत आहे का? सोपं उदाहरण. माझी जरा ड्रॉइंग इतकी काही सुंदर नाही आहे, ऍडजस्ट करून घ्या जरा. ठीक आहे. कन्सिडर दिस ॲज अ बाईक. मला माहिती आहे बाईक दिसत नाहीये, पण कन्सिडर करू. ठीक आहे. बाईकची वैशिष्ट्य तर काय? दोन चाक असतात, बसायला एक सीट असते, एक फ्यूल टँक असते, एक हँडल असतो, इथे रायडर बसणार, इथे पिलियन बसणार, बरोबर. हे फीचर्स आहे बाईक. इथे एक इंजिन असणार. ओके. आता या इंजिन मध्ये सध्या भरपूर प्रॉब्लेम सुरू आहे E20 मुळे. ठीक आहे. गमती जमतीने शिकायचा, अभ्यास करायचा कधी. ठीक. लोड नाही घ्यायचं असतं. ठीक. तर सिमिलरली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनला पण फीचर्स आहेत, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनचे पण काही कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आहेत. ठीक आहे. आपल्याला तेही कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स सगळे बघायचे आहे. वी हॅव टू स्टडी द सेलियंट फीचर्स एज वेल. नाव sources. As I have told you that India was under a British rule for around 200 years. So similarly, constitution is not only in India. Constitution is there in many countries. Yes. And as of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, he proudly announced in the Constituent Assembly that we have created this constitution by ransacking the constitution of all over the world. And I'm very proud to proclaim this. This was the words of Dr. Babasaheb. Yes. So we means the legend who is Babasaheb. The Babasaheb have studied each and every constitutional features of each and every constitution, around 60 constitutions. Yes. And he have, or the Constituent Assembly have inculcated each and every successful concept or successful feature of the constitutions in our Indian constitution. And what is the proof that our Indian constitution is great? The proof is that our Indian constitution is running successfully for more than 75 years. Yes. The country in our neighborhood, Pakistan or Bangladesh, have uprooted his democracy more than once. इंडियामध्ये झालं का असं कधी? का नाही झालं? कारण की सिस्टम खूप खूप सुंदरपणे डिफाईन आणखी डेव्हलप केलेलं आहे. कुठलाच बी अ सिटीजन, बी अ स्टेट, बी अ रिजन, बी कास्ट, religion, race, sex, gender, none of the above is discriminated according to our constitution. That's why each and everyone is well satisfied as well as happy in our country. Yes. I hope I am clear. That's why we have to study the sources of our constitution as well. Yes. Now comes the structure. So our structure of constitution. काय आपल्या स्ट्रक्चर, आपल्या कॉन्स्टिट्युशनल स्ट्रक्चर मध्ये काय काय आहे सांगेल का कोणी? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन मध्ये काय काय आहे, स्ट्रक्चर्स काय आहे आपल्या? येस. सो आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैव आर्टिकल्स. आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैव आर्टिकल्स. हिंदी मध्ये धारा म्हणतात. धारा 302 के तहत आपको फांसी दी जाती है. 302 नसते पण सांगतोय तुम्हाला. ठीक आहे. सो दॅट धारा किंवा मराठीमध्ये कलम म्हणतात त्याला. ठीक आहे. आर्टिकल. Next comes the parts. Then comes schedules. Fine. So our Indian constitution have around 400 plus articles, 25 parts and 12 schedules. Yes, this is the structure of our constitution. Okay, and we are going to study in detail all this structural part in our syllabus as well. Yes. Let's move on to the next section. Yes. So as you are able to see here, this is your prelims syllabus. ठीक है, हा प्रिलिम सिलेबस आहे. And now the tricky thing, okay, a gift from MPSC to you students is that they have mentioned here only political science or polity. They have not defined the syllabus. Now, who will do this thing? So don't worry, we are there for you. Yes, we will decode it here itself in this session. So here they have only mentioned political science or polity. Yes. Now let's take a look on the examination scheme of your prelims exam. So here only one paper is taken which is known as general ability test. Yes, and number of questions present are 100 and the marks 100. That means one question equals to 1 mark. Yes, and the level of qualification is graduation level. Qualification means that the question would be asked up to graduation level. Okay, and the medium is Marathi and English. म्हणजे मराठीमध्ये पण प्रश्न असणार, इंग्लिशमध्ये पण प्रश्न असणार. ठीक आहे, and duration would be 1 hour and objective type question paper would be provided. Yes, so this type of overall preliminary examination you have to appear. 100 questions, 100 marks. Yes, objective type paper. Now let's move on to the main section. So here in the main section syllabus they have explained you in detail that what are their requirements. Yes, so first they have mentioned you Indian federal system, Indian constitution, local self government and executive, judiciary and legislature. Yes, थोड्या वेळापूर्वी आपण पण हे सगळे डिस्कस केले आहे. ज्युडिशरी बद्दल बोललो आपण एक्झिक्युटिव्ह म्हणजे मिनिस्ट्री बद्दल बोललो, प्राईम मिनिस्टर बद्दल बोललो, लेजिस्लेचर बद्दल बोललो, बरोबर. नाउ इन द सेकंड paragraph they have mentioned you in more detail how the constitution was framed. I have told you the evolution of constitution, right? Here it is mentioned the preamble. I have told you the features. Yes, important articles, center state relations, union and state structures, fundamental rights, duties, fundamental duties, directive principles of state policy, education, uniform civil code, independent judiciary, governor, chief minister, council of minister, duties, their functions, state legislature, legislative assembly, legislative council, their structures, powers, duties and legislative authorities, etc. So this they have mentioned you in the syllabus. Yes, now let's take a look. But sir, my Marathi is really bad, I can't write or read Marathi. So there is Rutuja Shinde. Yes, so Rutuja, there is no need for you to read or write in Marathi. Okay, the GS itself is in English and the pre and mains are objective based questions. So there is no need for you to worry, and for the structural or the syllabus or notes or for studying part we are there for you. Okay, we are going to explain you, to teach you in Marathi, in English. Okay, and we are going to provide you notes that are also in English. Okay, so you don't have to worry for language purpose. Okay, now the mains examination scheme. So in mains they conduct two papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Both are of 200 marks, total 400 marks. The paper 1 is language based, Marathi and English, and in the second paper, here is our subject, general studies and intelligence test. Number of question asked 100, for marks 200, means एक प्रश्न 2 मार्क. डिग्री लेवल, लेवल कुठला असणार आहे क्वेश्चनचा, तर डिग्री लेवल, and the question would be asked in Marathi as well as in English. So Rutuja, the mains is also in English and as well as in Marathi. Okay, so same 1 hour and objective type questions. Yes, If you are facing any sort of difficulties understanding what I'm trying to say clearly, you can raise your questions in the comment section as well. Okay, so I will answer it. Yes. So now yes, yes, now this slide, the next section, we are moving on to the next section. And the next section is, I have conducted, or I have, sorry, not conducted, I have done, I have gone through n number of papers. Okay, starting from 2012 to 2025 or 26. Yes, and I have studied in detail about the about the questions. Okay, like I have told you, I forget to bring that book. A book is named as M. Lakshmikant. Sorry, M. Lakshmikant. Yes, and that book is this thick. And that single book is used in UPSC civil services, in MPSC state services, and in MPSC Group B, Group C services by the English medium students. Does that mean that each and every student have to read all the sort of material or all the sort of concept which has been mentioned in that book? The answer is surely no. Why? Because each and every exam has some different demand. Okay, for for UPSC, the approach of question is more toward analytical analysis. Okay, here they will ask you a question in UPSC that India name is in the article 1 of our constitution. The very first article mentions India, that is Bharat. So UPSC will ask you that why India, that is Bharat, is taken as a name. Okay, MPSC Rajya Seva will ask you that why only these two names were taken, India, that is Bharat. And in gazetted or non-gazetted Group B and Group C exams, what they will ask you? They will ask you that how many names are there for our country? Is there a single name, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, n number of names? So this is the difference. I hope that I am getting cleared the air in your head that what is the difference between UPSC, MPSC, and Group B and Group C services, and why and what you should keep in your mind while you study. Yes, so I have analyzed each and every question in detail. Yes, and I have shortlisted around some chapters. In that chapter, which topic, and in that topic, which subtopic. Yes, I have shortlisted. I will show you in the list that which are your important topics for your study. Yes, so this is here I have taken, just put on some examples. Yes, here you can see, here is the topic or the chapter name. The first is making of constitution, salient features, preamble, union territory, citizenship, fundamental rights, and directive principles of state policy. Here I have mentioned you the years. Okay, so here you can see that every alternate year a question is asked from making of constitution from this chapter. From salient features, they have asked you around a single question each and every year. For preamble, they have asked you only one question, that was in 2020. And in 2026, I have not mentioned the column of 2026, but 2026 they have asked you a question from preamble. Okay, the question was that is the preamble a part of is a part of a constitution or not, and by which case it was established. Yes, so this kind of question was asked. Yes, from union and territory only single question was asked. Okay, in 2025. From citizenship, no question was asked. Yes, a single question. From fundamental rights, yes, probably two questions. From DPSP, one single question was asked. So, what do you understand by this thing? By this table? It clearly states that not each and every chapter is important for you. मला एक सांगा, तुमच्याकडे 10 चॅप्टर्स आहे. हाइपोथेटिकली लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल, यू हैव 10 चैप्टर्स एंड फ्रॉम 5 चैप्टर्स, हम यही तो करते थे ना यार ग्रेजुएशन में, यही करते थे ना हम. 10 चैप्टर में से 5 चैप्टर पे सबसे ज्यादा क्वेश्चन आते हैं, हम वही पढ़ के जाते थे. बराबर है. आपको यहां पे भी यही करना है. इसका मतलब ये होता है क्या कि सर बाकी के 5 चैप्टर छोड़ दें? नहीं. यू हैव टू स्टडी ईच एंड एवरी चैप्टर, but the details of your study or the depth of your knowledge of that chapter would vary accordingly to the importance of that chapter. I hope I am getting cleared. Yes. So this is a format and I have done it very profoundly. Okay, and for this matter फक्त विश्वास करा, trust me. Yes. So now we will move on to the list, a short list. I have not mentioned here in more detail. Yes, सर एम लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ना है क्या? जी पढ़ना है आपको, ठीक है. एम लक्ष्मीकांत में क्या पढ़ना है ये मैं बताऊंगा, लेकिन एम लक्ष्मीकांत आपको पढ़ना है, ठीक है. अभी नहीं तो अभी सीन ऐसा है कि ये जो अभी चल रहा है ये यूट्यूब पर लाइव है. अब यूट्यूब पे लाइव होने की वजह से ऐसा होगा कि सर अगर लक्ष्मीकांत ही पढ़ना है तो हम आपके पास क्यों आए? सर एम लक्ष्मीकांत बहुत बड़ी है, वो तो यूपीएससी के लिए पढ़ी जाती है. मैंने आपको थोड़ी देर पहले इसका जवाब दे चुका हूँ, ठीक है. एम लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ सकते हो आप, ठीक है. हम आपको नोट्स देने ही वाले हैं, ओके. लेकिन एम लक्ष्मीकांत सिलेक्टेडली पढ़ना है आपको, ठीक है. बिकॉज एम लक्ष्मीकांत इज अ वेरी वेरी गुड बुक, ओके. is a very the top most position in the reference book. M Lakshmikant is very well established and very well explained the concepts of polity. So surely you have to read M Lakshmikant. Okay, now let's take a look on some important topics, chapters, okay, which I have taken it from my analysis. So from this chapter, that is making of constitution, questions are basically aimed or asked from the committees. Which committees? The committees which were established for the Constituent Assembly. Which was the most important committee of Constituent Assembly? The drafting committee, which drafted the overall constitution. Okay, Union States Committees, Central State Relation Committee, National Flag Committee, Judicial Committee. There were many committees, major and minor committees. Now, in that case, these committees, they will ask you that who were the chairman. Like for drafting committee, who were the chairman? So the answer would be Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Fine. Now for drafting committee, they will also ask you who were the members of drafting committee. You have to match the pairs, or you have to eliminate the from the four options. Okay, so this kind of questions they are mainly focused. Okay, I have done this around for 10, 20, 15 years, and they have mainly focused on this topics of this chapter. From salient features, they are basically focused on sources of the constitution, schedules of the constitution, and the list. मी सांगितलं ना मगाशी तुम्हाला, I have told you that we have 3 levels of government. Okay, for example, for time being, let's take 2. So for central government, there is a list in which each and every subject is mentioned, like defense, space research, external affairs, finance. All this goes under central. For state list, there is also a list where education, irrigation, water, dam, health, each and every is mentioned. ठीक है. So these are the list. So they are generally focused, and we are going to take PYQs in this session, so don't worry. It's okay. I have mentioned some PYQs here as well, so you will have a rough idea that what kind of questions they are asking in this exam for this chapter or for this subject. For fundamental rights, what they have asked, they are mainly focused on these articles: article 15, 19, 20, 21A, 28. Okay. From directive principles, they are mainly focused on, they will what they will give you, they will give you a list of directive principles and they will ask you to arrange it according they are present in the constitution. Okay. So they have, you have to mark the sequence. They will ask you the directive principle which are related to education, which are related to education, to gram panchayat. They will straightforwardly ask you that what is the articles mentioned in the constitution in the directive principle chapter for like say gram panchayat. Okay, organizations of gram panchayat, article 40 is mentioned. So they will ask you such types of questions. For center state relations, various committee. Yes. Now in our syllabus or in our country, many a times there are disputes among the states or between the states or state and the center. Yes, you have many a times heard about the Krishna Godavari basin issue, the for water sharing among the states. Yes, you might have heard about the revenue sharing model of between the center and the states. Yes, so all this comes under center state relation. And for all these purposes, there are various committees which were established on various years. Okay, like Sarkaria Commission, like Punchi Commission. They have asked you that who was the chairperson of Sarkaria Commission, who were the members of this commission. Okay, so this kind of questions they have asked you. From president chapter, the duties of presidents. Okay, the duties related to president, powers, relations with PM, that is prime ministers. Okay, prime minister. They have asked you questions related to this topic. For parliament, bills, powers, state subject and committees. Bills means that what kind of bills are introduced in the in the parliament. What is the procedure? What are the articles related to it? Fine. Powers. What are the powers related to the parliament? Okay. Fine. Like Lok Sabha have which kind of power? Rajya Sabha had what kind of powers related to money bill, financial bill, ordinary bill? Fine. State subjects. Okay. Like for example, I have told you that center have a different list and state has different list. But in some scenario, center can make laws for state list, the subjects which are mentioned in the state list. There is a procedure. Then what is the procedure they have to follow to make laws on state subject? They have asked you question on this. Committees, yes, public account committee, estimate committee, they have asked you question on this as well. Okay. Supreme Court. In Supreme Court, they have asked you a question about judicial review, appointments of judges, who appoints the judge, okay, what are the powers of Supreme Court, about judicial review, yes. So various other questions or topics they have asked you in this question. Now, if you take a look, so you will try to understand that in center-state relation, only few questions have been asked. Yes, but on president, there are topics are increased. For parliament, similarly, topics are getting increased. But for Supreme Court, it is not that important. Supreme Court is the highest court in our India, but it is not important for your exam, for our exam. Yes, I hope that I am getting very clear, you are getting very clear what I am trying to say. Yes, what I am trying to explain you. Yes. Now, अभी एक बात देखो, यहाँ पे एक बात नोट करिए आप, ये जितनी भी चीजें थी ठीक है, अरे यार, this is all related to the central government. Yes, yes. नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस तुम्हाला दिसत आहे किती आहे, काय आहे? फाईन. आता इथे बघा, all this is related to the state government and number of topics has been increased. Why? Because the conducting body, that is the commission, Maharashtra Public Service Commission, is focusing on which services? State services. So their focus is that the individual or the aspirant should have a greater knowledge towards the state subjects. Subjects means these chapters. Okay, fine. In UPSC, they are mainly focusing on central subjects. Parliament, they will ask you some questions related to state legislature, but they will go deep in parliament topic than going such a depth for state legislature. Yes. मला हेच सांगायचंय तुम्हाला की फरक असतो प्रत्येक परीक्षेमध्ये. प्रत्येक पुस्तक वाचायची पद्धत वेगळी असते प्रत्येक एक्झाम करिता. एक बायबलचा कन्सेप्ट असा काही नसतो कॉम्पिटेटिव्ह एक्झाम मध्ये. ठीक आहे, कि this is the Bible for this subject, just read it and forget it, you will get passed, you will be the topper of the next year. ऐसा कुछ होता है क्या? तो ऐसा नहीं होता है. हर एक सब्जेक्ट के लिए सेम किताब होती है, लेकिन हर एक एग्जाम के लिए अलग अलग तरीके से वो किताब पढ़नी पड़ती है. ठीक है, वही मैं समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं आपको. लेट्स टेक अ लुक ऑन दिस. फॉर गवर्नर, they ask you questions about the appointment, that who appoints the governor. They will also ask you the tenure, that for how many years a person can be appointed as a governor. Okay, first, now the powers. What are the powers related to governor which he exercises during the tenure of his governorship in the state? Okay, related to state legislature, to executive, to ministries and all those things. Now comes the state legislature. Bicameral legislature. This is the favorite question of commission. Why? Because they have asked you many a times that how many legislatures, state legislatures in India have bicameral legislature. In Maharashtra, we have bicameral legislature. We have Vidhan Bhavan and Vidhan Parishad as well. Okay, so states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, UP, Bihar, these states have bicameral legislature, and they have asked you many a times this question. They will give you a list and you have to find out that which of the following don't have bicameral legislature. Okay, bills. What kind of bills is introduced? What happens to a bill when it is passed to the Vidhan Parishad by the Legislative Assembly? Okay, when a bill is passed from Legislative Assembly to Legislative Council, what powers does this Legislative Council have for this bill? If it is money bill, the powers are different. If it ordinary bill, the powers are different. Okay, so this kind of questions. Legislative Council. What are the members? What is the minimum number of members? Okay. What are the powers of Legislative Council? Yes. Another important question, maximum numbers. They will give you a question or a statement, and in this statement, they will say that maximum 500 members can be there in Legislative Assembly, or minimum 60 members can be there in Legislative Assembly. Or they have asked you that Maharashtra have 448 members, or Maharashtra have 48 members. Okay, such types of questions they have asked you related to state legislatures. Okay, now comes High Court. In High Court, अभी ये भी बात देखो आप, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में सिर्फ जुडिशियल रिव्यू पे ही क्वेश्चन था, ठीक है, या और एक दो टॉपिक हो गए, लेकिन यहां हाई कोर्ट में टॉपिक्स बढ़ जा रहे हैं यहाँ पे. ठीक है, in High Court they have asked you question about court of record. What do you mean by court of record? Okay, court of record means that the decisions or the judgments which are given by this court, can be taken as a reference or evidence for other courts as well. Okay, and it would be remain in the memory and testimony of these courts. Okay, for the courts which are in India. Fine, it is known as court of record. Judges appointment. Who appoints the judge of a high court? What are the qualifications of the judge? Okay, what is the tenure? All this sort of questions has been asked in this chapter. Okay, but again I am reminding you, in Supreme Court they have asked you how many questions and for how many topics, maybe 2 or 3, but here I have mentioned you 4 topics. That means it's there around 5 to 6 topics. Yes. Next comes the Panchayat Raj. This is the most important part, that is local self government. It would be rural setup, that is Gram Panchayat, or it would be urban setup, that is municipal corporations. And this is the most trickiest part for English medium students. Why? Because English medium students don't have any sort of access to the notes for this Gram Panchayat or local self government. All the notes and books are available in Marathi. So that's why I am here for you. Don't worry. We will provide you each and every notes, okay, for each and every topic as well. And we will explain you in detail about all these topics. Some topics are there, like for example, there are 2 acts. The one is Right to Information Act, and and similarly there is one more act, and important is this topic for your mains. Okay, so we are going to deal with all these 3 topics which are specifically important for your mains in detail, and that too in English. Okay, so you don't have to worry for all those things. Now comes the Election Commission. Articles, Article 324, it duties, elections of Lok Sabha, Legislative Assembly. The questions they have asked you here, that which article is related to Election Commission. Okay, which elections are the responsibility of Election Commission of India? Does the election of Gram Panchayat is conducted by Election Commission of India? So all these sort of questions they have asked you. Okay, now comes Public Service Commission. There are 2 public service commissions in India. The one is Union Public Service Commission, that is UPSC, and the second one is State Public Service Commission. And in case of Maharashtra, we have MPSC. For MPSC, they have asked you articles, chairman, members, their appointment, and their removal. Like for example, they will ask you that if the members of State Public Service Commission can be promoted to which post? They can be promoted to chairman of State Public Service Commission or members of or chairman of UPSC. This sort of questions they have asked you. They have also asked you that who appoints the members. Just a second. Pradeep, Pradeep, pani de pani. Yes. So here they have asked you the appointments. So who appoints the members? Who appoints the chairman? To whom they give their resignation? Okay. They have also asked you such types of questions. Now comes Advocate General. This तुम्ही विश्वास नाही करणार, हा इतका आवडता टॉपिक आहे एमपीएससीचा, ऍडव्होकेट जनरल. या टॉपिकवर दरवर्षी हे एक तरी प्रश्न विचारतात. ठीक आहे, तर कुठल्या प्रकारचे प्रश्न विचारले जातात या टॉपिकवर? ठीक आहे, आर्टिकल्स. ठीक आहे, आय गेस 165 इज द आर्टिकल. अपॉइंटमेंट, who appoints the advocate general, what is the term and what are the duties and what are the qualifications of advocate general. Yes, so each and every year or alternate year you will find this topic. आता तुम्हाला एक डिस्टिंक्शन करून सांगायचं आहे मला, and that distinction is that advocate general is responsible for state government and attorney general is related to central government. कालचाच विषय आहे E20 इथेनॉलवर अटॉर्नी जनरलनी स्टेटमेंट दिलं आहे, तर ही पोस्ट म्हणजे जरा चर्चेत आहे. अटॉर्नी जनरल मोठी पोस्ट आहे, ठीक आहे, बट दे हॅव नॉट आस्क्ड यू क्वेश्चन ऑन दॅट अटॉर्नी जनरल. दे आर मेनली फोकसिंग ऑन ॲडव्होकेट जनरल. व्हाय? अगेन यू आर प्रिपेरिंग फॉर स्टेट सर्व्हिसेस. येस. Now this were the topics which are generally asked each and every year. Okay, but there are some topics on which can be included in miscellaneous. Miscellaneous means ते कधीतरी एखादी एक प्रश्न येतो. पण कसं आहे माहितीये का, मी या सगळ्या टॉपिक्सचा पण म्हणजे सखोल अभ्यास केला आणि मला एक लक्षात आलं की जे कधीतरी विचारणाऱ्या टॉपिक मधला हा एक टॉपिक असा आहे ऑफिशियल लँग्वेज. यावर हे 2-3 वर्षानंतर का नसतो पण एक प्रश्न येतो, ठीक आहे. आणि तो प्रश्न कसा असणार, ते डायरेक्ट आर्टिकल्स विचारतात की हा आर्टिकल, दिस आर्टिकल इज रिलेटेड टू विच ऑफ द पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और विच सब्जेक्ट. ओके, or what they will do, they will straightly match the pair. Okay, in the list 1 and list 2, here they will give you this articles and here they will give you the statements and you have to match the pairs. Okay, sir, notes are physical or virtual format. Notes will be given to you, don't worry. और क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है फिजिकल हो या वर्चुअल हो, but notes would be given, so don't worry. Yes. So, coming back to our important chapters or my analysis towards this subject. So, I hope that a crystal clear structure of polity subject has been developed in your mind, in your brain. Yes, that what type of subject, that first of all, the first question, that why you are studying, it has been cleared. What you are studying, it is cleared. How you have to study, it is also cleared. Yes. So and in this, while you will start your preparation, here are the important topics on which you have to focus. परत मी सांगतोय, बाकी चॅप्टर सोडायचे नाहीये. नाही तर तुम्ही म्हणणार, सर तुम्ही म्हटलं होतं की आपण युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये 5 चॅप्टरचा अभ्यास करायचो, बाकी 5 चॅप्टर सोडायचो. तर तसं नाही करायचं. प्रत्येक चॅप्टरचा अभ्यास करायचा आहे तुम्हाला. फक्त कसं आहे की कुठल्या चॅप्टरवर फोकस जास्त द्यायचे, हे सगळे चॅप्टर्स आहे, ठीक आहे. Now we are going to take some PYQs. Yes. So this PYQ was asked in 2022. This question was asked in 2022, and what this question says, it says, which among the following features of Indian Constitution is not borrowed from British Constitution? So the first option here is parliamentary form of government, cabinet form of government, rule of law, and concurrent list. Before answering to this question, let's take a look on some of my notes, or in general these notes are available each and everywhere. This is not specifically molded by me, so I won't take credit for it. Okay, it is a very common source. So in this way, but this is a copy of our notes. Yes, our notes would be printed in this way, in this format as well. Yes, so This is the country or source, and we have borrowed these features. And I will try to explain you that how you should try or how you should study this chapter or this polity. This is just an example. Okay. So when you start reading, here you will read Government of India Act 1935. I have told you that we were under the British rule, and there are some laws by which this territory was governed by the British. This is one of those acts. This is one of those acts. And what we have taken from this act? Federal scheme, Office of Governor, emergency provisions, judiciary, public service commission. Yes. Second comes the USA. काय म्हणतात त्याला? ट्रम्प. ट्रम्प साहेबाचा देश. डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प. United States of America. Yes. What we have taken? Fundamental rights, independence of judiciary, judicial review, impeachment of president, removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges, and post of vice president. Now, what is important here to note here is, तुम्ही लक्षात काय ठेवायला पाहिजे इथे? तुम्ही हे लक्षात घेतलं पाहिजे की ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही अभ्यास करताय ना, तर तुम्ही व्यवस्थित त्याला वाचा आणि त्याला समजून घ्यायचा प्रयत्न करा. आता तुम्ही द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट रीडिंग ऑल दिस फीचर्स which we have taken inspiration from USA, you will try to understand that most of the, not all, but most of the features are related to judiciary. So आता बघा काय होतं माहिती का, तुम्हाला you have to study a lot. You don't have to study a single subject, but you have to study many subjects. And for each subject, at least 2 to 3 books you have to read. And that too very precisely and thoroughly, because you are preparing for Group B services. And the exam is more or less factual. So when you, let me give you just an example. बघा हे इतके फीचर्स आहे ना, हे बघा हे पण फीचर्स आहे, हे पण फीचर्स आहे, बस ठीक आहे. आता मला सांगा, तुम्ही इतके फीचर्स तुम्हाला लक्षात ठेवायला, टू रिमेंबर, टू मेमोराइज, इट इज व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट. And especially when you are appearing in the exam hall for your exam, so when you are appearing, when you are attempting that specific paper, ते कुठला मूवी आहे तो, आमिर खान आणि तो लहान मुलाचं, ते असं फिरायला लागतं सगळं, माहिती आहे का डोळ्याचं? लहान मुलाचा एक मूवी आहे ना, कुठला आहे तो? एक मूवी आहे, तर ते सगळे डोक्यासमोर फिरायला लागतात. ते इट ऑल गेट सो कन्फ्युजिंग, आणि तुम्हाला असं वाटतं अरे युएसए कडनं घेतलंय की हा आयर्लंड कडनं घेतलंय किंवा हा ब्रिटन कडनं तर नाही घेतलंय. तर याकरिता ना काही छोटे छोटे ट्रिक्स तयार करायचं स्वतः. मी सांगणार आहे तुम्हाला, पण तुम्ही स्वतः केलेलं मच बेटर असतं. ठीक आहे. सो दिस इज अ सिमिलर ट्रिक. If in case you are getting confused, always remember most of the judicial part we have taken from USA. Now why we have taken from USA? Because the USA judiciary is most powerful in the world. Okay, in each and every setup, each and every country, there is a judiciary, but judiciary have various powers. Okay, the most powerful judiciary in a country is of USA. That's why we have taken most of the features from USA for judiciary. Second comes the Ireland. From Ireland we have taken directive principles of state policy, nomination of members to Rajya Sabha, and method of election to president. Okay, so this we have taken from Ireland. From UK, that is United Kingdom, we have taken parliamentary form of government, rule of law, legislative procedures, single citizenship, cabinet system, prerogative rights, parliamentary privileges, and bicameralism. So now, if you try to read it again and again, you will come to a conclusion that Most of the parliamentary features we have taken from United Kingdom. Okay, be it bicameralism, be it legislative procedure, be it parliamentary form of government, be it parliamentary privileges. Okay, so in this way you have to study polity, because if you are thinking that I will mug up, I will rot learn each and everything, I'm really very sorry to inform you that this is not possible, because you have to mug up or you have to learn or memorize n number of data. So try to learn it or memorize it in a better way, in a smarter way. Yes. Now let me give you some interesting example. Let's take Germany. What we have taken from Germany: suspension of fundamental rights during emergency. Suspension of fundamental rights during emergency. Now, if I ask you a question, that if I say Germany, which person do you remember or recall? And the answer will surely be the Adolf Hitler. And Adolf Hitler is infamously known for atrocities, for injustice. Yes. So, if you want to suspend your own rights of being citizen, take inspiration from whom? Adolf Hitler. And Adolf Hitler was from Germany, the Weimar Constitution. Yes. So, in this way, you have to study. USSR, let's take USSR. Fundamental duties, ideal of justice in the preamble. Now, let me give you an example. Everyone has an elder brother or elder sister. Yes. And what does this elder brother do? They will tell you some sort of activities. Like for example, मला पाणी आणून दे, मला माझं हे करून दे, ठीक आहे, सांगतात ना, बरोबर. सो दुसरी गोष्ट काय की आपले जर भांडणं झाले, आपण काय करतो, आपल्या मोठ्या भावाला घेऊन जातो की दादा यांनी मला मारलंय, बरोबर. आता प्रत्येक व्यक्ती म्हणाल की मी भांडण करत नाही. हा, काही काही गांधीवादी आहे आपल्या इकडे भारतामध्ये, पण काही नसतात, जे नसतात ते आपल्या मोठ्या भावाला घेऊन जातात, बरोबर. तसे गांधीवाद चांगला आहे, गांधीवाद वाईट नाही, ठीक आहे. तर सो बेसिकली इन जिओपॉलिटिकल सिनारियो, रशिया, we consider Russia with respect as an elder brother, okay, a friend of all seasons, okay, because Russia has supported India each and every time, okay, whenever we need something we have support of Russia, okay, so we can consider Russia as an elder brother, okay. परत कॉन्ट्रोवर्सी नको व्हायला की मदर फादरचा असा काही भाग नाहीये, ठीक आहे, आपण मानायचं कारण की आपल्याला पाठ करायचं आहे, आपल्याला काही इलेक्शन लढायला जायचं नाहीये, ठीक आहे. सो कन्सिडर USA or USSR or Russia as an elder brother. An elder brother gives us duties and at times he serves justice, okay. So this is the way you should read, you should try to understand polity. यार तुमने ऐसा रट्टा मारना चालू किया ना, आपका नहीं हो पाएगा, आप यकीन मानो मेरी, ठीक है. Yes, France, French Revolution, liberty, equality and fraternity, the most famous three. Yes, so in this way you should study. Now coming back to our question, what was our question? We have taken all these three from Britain, but concurrent list we have taken from Australia. We have taken from Australia. Yes, this Australia. This is also funny to remember. Look, what we have taken from Australia, concurrent list. Concurrent list means a list on which center as well as state government can make laws. I hope I am clear. Concurrent list means a list on which state government as well as central government can make laws. Freedom of trade, commerce. सॉरी, जरा माझी तब्येत बरी नाही आहे, त्याच्यामुळे त्रास होतोय. येस, मला एक सांगा, इफ यू वॉन्ट टू ट्रेड, the trade would be with a single person. It is possible? No. For trade, we require at least two persons, two individuals, right? Joint sitting of the two houses. If in case there are some disputes regarding to any bill, the two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, assemble in a single house and then the voting is done. That means what? Two houses are coming together, two persons are coming together, two governments are coming together. That means if you want to have some sort of, what we can say, a meeting of two individuals, we have to refer it to Australia. So Australia is a person who combines or who tries to meet, held a meeting among two individuals. Yes. So मेरी बात मानो, बहुत मजेदार सब्जेक्ट है. आपको ना समझ में नहीं आएगा कि कब आपका पॉलिटी खत्म हो गया. ठीक है, बहुत सारी डिफिकल्ट कंसेप्ट्स हैं, लेकिन वो इजीली हम पढ़ लेंगे. ठीक है. So this is the type of question they have given you for the sources of constitution. We have gone through many of them. Now let's try to match it. Directive principle of state policy, fundamental rights, concurrent list, union as union of state having greater powers to the union. Yes. So directive principles, we have taken it from Ireland. Fundamental rights, we have taken it from USA. I have told you, Bill of Rights. Concurrent list, काय म्हटलं होतं मी? Australia. Union with greater powers to the center, we have taken it from Canada. Okay. So this is sort of questions, PYQs they have asked you. I have taken many others as well. Yes. So the next question is related to schedules. Schedules of Indian Constitution contains the allocation of seats for each state and union territories in Council of States. So they have asked you that the nomination to the Rajya Sabha, Council of State means Rajya Sabha, is mentioned in which schedule? So it is mentioned in 4th schedule. So they ask you straightforwardly this sort of questions, and if you study in this way, it would be easy for you to tackle the question. ओके. गारंटी कोई दे सकता है क्या कि क्लियर हो जाएगा करके एग्जाम, या हम करा देंगे? कोई नहीं दे सकता. ठीक है. It is all, it all depends on you, that how you listen. In a class of 100 students, a teacher is teaching this 100 students, but one student have got 99%, another has got 92, 90, 60, 80. So what do you understand by this thing? That it all depends on you, that how you study. One more thing, not each and everything can be provided from by my side. But if you try to understand it, if you are facing some sort of any sort of difficulties, I'm there for you. Okay. So I'm here to teach you, but it is your responsibility to study, to revise it on the same day on which I have explained you the following concepts. Yes. Yes. So I hope that that's all for today. Okay. And I hope that I have very clearly explained you that what is this subject overall about and how you have to study it. Yes. If there are any doubts from your side, you can ask questions in the comment, or you can comment down so we can discuss it. काही प्रश्न आहे?